Did you start there?
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I wasn't either. And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym into Crypto, episode 318. Today is Tuesday, January 8th, 2019. I think yesterday I said December 7th, to be honest. I think somebody called me out. So Thank you for the call out. I'm King.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish.
Oh, yeah.
10-ish.
Losing track of the days.
Right? It's crazy. There's so much going on. Let some folks start to slide in here as we get this article cam up and working. A lot of good stories. Do we have a winner for the crypto coin yesterday?
Oh, yeah. The winner from yesterday is Wix Whim. Thank you for your comment in response to our question about having your kids actually use Bitcoin within video games. I'm sure a lot of people are starting to implement that in their own life. And Fortnite, like we talked about, had an accidental Monero acceptance, and long term I think they will accept crypto, so good to see there.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? D Chiron, Ghost Casa.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? He said off work, so get the catches. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Jizzy Matt, good morning. Oh, speaking of catching us, so one of the things I know, we don't know if it's a shadow ban or whatever, which it shouldn't be. We're not big enough for that, but we are talking crypto in all our descriptions, so you never know. Crypto blood in the house. What up, though?
What's up? What's up?
From the D, you already know. But one of the things that we want to mention, because actually, speaking of crypto blood, I'm glad you're here. I was looking at your channel yesterday, and I realized the reason why I wasn't getting the notifications from his channel is because I didn't click the bell. If you don't know, YouTube now has like a little bell next to the subscribe button. So after you subscribe, you actually need to click that bell to get the notifications. If you don't click the bell, doesn't matter who you're subscribed to, oftentimes you won't get it. So I just literally found that out late last night when I was looking at some different crypto videos and stuff. And I was like, oh, I haven't subscribed to these. Not subscribed, I haven't actually pressed the bell. So
a little small quirk to trip you up. You know how that goes.
Oh, there we go. All right, everybody's talking about the title. We're about to get into it. What's going on? Charles Williams, Travel and Culture. Love that name. Allison Thompson. Tony Nolly, what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Click that bell, people.
Tessa,
exactly. What's going on,
Michael.
Tessa, Michael? All right, so you saw the title of the day show. I mean, literally, today is a good, bad type of thing. It's a positive, negative thing. It's plenty of news out today, but it's all bad news stories for Bitcoin. So, of course, we're going to give you our take on it and how it affects the market, because some of these stories actually do. And then, of course, we're going to make it entertaining as well. So, without further ado, before we jump to the top story, we have two dinos of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Dose, right?
Dos dinos.
Those dinos. Let's get this up and running. If this article camera wants to work today, we can get this going, but it doesn't look like it. We shall see.
Yeah, the very rare two dino day.
Right.
So anybody who hasn't seen our show, this rarely happens.
There it
came
is.
in on a good day.
Boom. All right. First one, cryptocurrencies, a load of nonsense, claims ECB council member. I mean, that looks like a guy I want to listen to, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just come on.
Nice disheveled look.
Right.
Don't use Bitcoin. Please don't use Bitcoin.
You know what I mean? Like, you're looking like you just had a wonderful night. But there we go. Bitcoin and other top cryptos have just started recovering from their 16-month low. I'm starting to read this article by mistake. But it looks like a person, a reputable member of the European Central Bank's governing council, believes that there is more room for collapse. Again, let's highlight European Central Bank's governing council member. A reputable one. Why would he say anything else but?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point. But Ardo Hassan, the governor of Bank of Estonia, actually, which is pretty surprising, has claimed that cryptocurrencies would die as a complete load of nonsense while speaking at 5 years with the Euro conference in Latvia. The policymaker assured that the bubble has already started to collapse and it should continue to do so unless the market reaches a new kind of equilibrium. He basically said this is a fairy tale story that's ending, or he couldn't believe, I guess his exact quote was, I think we will come back in a few years from now and say, how could we ever have gotten into this situation where we believe this kind of a fairy tale story?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, the FUD starts early. Start the new year off with some fresh FUD.
Right.
One of the best parts about these stories, I love when they come out simply because, for one, it's free promotion. For two, we get to add it to the list of different ways that Bitcoin has died. And for three, we get to talk about them because, honestly, whenever they go to these conferences, it's funny to see the statements that they make. If you've noticed, a lot of the dinos, they make these statements at a conference where they have concerned people who just want to hear basically their view on Bitcoin versus their currency. So if you talk about versus the euro, of course they're gonna say Bitcoin is gonna die. It was a fairy tale. It's something that all the good
Bitcoin
good
the new
over.
Tupac.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin's literally the new Tupac. You got legislators that want to bring it up like they're the cool kid in the room.
Exactly.
Oh, Bitcoin is dead already. No,
Yeah.
it's actually still alive. And it just dropped a new pair of Nike shoes, I heard.
Man, I'm pretty sure journalists are copying and pasting stories now.
Right.
These are the exact same stories from 3 or 4 years ago. So,
man.
the euro dies in a few years. I'm with you, John Siebert. I think it's a lot of fiat currency. Very scared right now. Or why would you even bring up Bitcoin? We're not worried about you all. I mean,
well, and, one of the things, I just highlight this as well. It says here, in part of his quote, he says, some people will probably make a lot of money, but many people will probably lose a lot of money too.
What?
How can you be in a position of power making blanket statements like that?
The ability to say nothing.
That is the entire world. That's the United States. Some people make a lot of money, but many people lose a lot of money too. That is the United States in this sentence. I mean, that's the entire planet in this sentence for the most part. So, again, it's one of those people where clearly they don't have any factual evidence. They don't have any technical evidence. They don't have any numerical evidence. I mean, the whole thing about cryptocurrency decentralization, which is why we love it, is because everything can be codified. You can literally look at algorithms, and 1 + 1 = 2. 0 and 1s. It's pretty easy to understand. Whereas this, some people make a lot of money, but many people probably lose a lot of money too.
Yeah, and if you've never been in politics, Bitcoin is a great place to learn how people talk.
Right.
When they use doublespeak, because this is if there was a definition in the dictionary, a picture of this will be there. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money.
And then I have his picture right next to that statement. He's like, I mean, what do you want me? I mean,
What do you want from me?
Look at my tie. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But our second, you know what? We're gonna give. I gotta make sure we give him his loud roar first before we forget about it.
Give him that loud roar.
And what is his name again? So we can refer back to this guy.
Ardo Hansen.
Ardo
Hansen.
Ardo Hansen.
ARDO Hansen.
Oh my goodness! And he is the.
Sounds like he sells men's shoes.
Too funny. Well, he got the suit to go with it. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, I just tried to stall for a couple seconds because it was loading up. I didn't have it prepared, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Ardo, you get this loud roar for the day. 2 times.
Give it to him.
Oh my goodness. Our second one up for the day. Second dino of the day. Israel National Economic Council Chair. Bitcoin intrinsically inefficient will disappear. I love how Cointelegraph has like the Bitcoin about to slip on a banana peel.
Oh man.
Israel's economic czar Avi Simhan has denounced Bitcoin as intrinsically inefficient, predicting that the cryptocurrency will therefore disappear.
Oh, really now?
Wow. It looks like he was speaking at the Israel Bitcoin Summit at Tel Aviv University on January 8th. I mean, really, just to make a headline because
it's always at an event,
right? He did it at a Bitcoin summit too, so
he just wanted to be a contra.
Exactly. So
like
you're the one person walking into the room like, the ball was tipped. I get it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember at the Black Blockchain Summit, we had a guy come in. He was the only one who was just staunch against Bitcoin.
Right.
It was good to see his opinion because the groans from the crowd, along with the rebuttals he got, he basically stopped talking because he was like, all right, well, nobody agrees with me, so I'm not going to say anything else. And people were like, no, everything you said has been rebutted. Nothing you said has actually, actually convinced us that Bitcoin is bad. But these people do exist. They show up at conferences, they give speeches, and they just say, yeah, Bitcoin bad. And like somebody commented, they probably got a whole bunch of it. They just
come on.
They just got to say that in public.
He got treasures laying all around his house right now. You don't know how much on those open dimes.
Kids and grandkids got some Bitcoin. Everybody, everybody.
Crypto Blood is calling it BitPop. There we go. Bitcoin is in Cuba. Hugging the blockchain. What's going on? Alice and who else we had? Crypto Q. That's right. If you ever have problems with Coinbase, move coins immediately. Do that first before alerting customer service a suspected activity because they will freeze close accounts. That is true as well.
Shout out to Tessa moving her Bitcoin off Coinbase to Gemini. Oh yeah.
What's going on, Phil Bree, DC Chiron?
Yes, sir. Everybody on Facebook tuning in. Thank you. All
right, so to get back to this guy, again, his name is Avi Simhan. He also argued that to issue Bitcoin at a national or global scale would cost trillions of dollars of actual cost and energy as opposed to the existing state of affairs in which printing money costs very little. Again, I mean, he's almost worse. Let's go to, we don't have his picture up here. We're going to find this guy.
Jesus Cristo.
I mean, these are people with powerful positions making just blanket statements. It's going to cost trillions of dollars. For, like, where's the research on that?
I'm about to say,
no one has done that research. Actually, research has been done. It's been proven false already.
Yeah.
But let's say you wanted the data to back up your false accusation that printing fiat money costs less, which in fact it doesn't, because you're cutting down trees. You got to have the machines to do that. That wastes gas, energy, and fuel. Then you have to actually ship it. So that is literally a lie.
Yeah.
Like it is.
And the dollars themselves actually get thrown out.
Right.
Like, the dirty dollars get.
So this is literally a lie. But again, it's just one of those things where they're just throwing out blanket statements and have no evidence to back it up, and just hoping people listen.
Oh yeah. I love this. These statements, because, like you said, there is no actual evidence to back it up. So when you hear these people talk, you should just openly laugh at them like we do, because who cares if they have a PhD, if they're the head of an economic group, who cares? Because at this point, anybody in crypto who's in crypto, there are no crypto colleges really, not yet. There are no, crypto certifications that are recognized globally. So if you know about crypto, you can look at these people and say, I know more about it than you do. Who cares what shekels, go deal with your shekels and your national fiat currency. Stop worrying about crypto, because when they make these statements, it's hilarious, and they have no degree in energy. They don't know anything about
Well, what's even worse is that they're devaluing what they do have.
Yeah,
the systems that they do have, the institutions that they do work for, the people they're representing, the organizations they're representing. To me, they're devaluing all of those, because like, I can't even trust you to be up front with, just say you don't know, or just say, hey, I got all my money tied up in this market, man. I'm not trying to be honest, but now I'm devaluing. What is he supposed to be again? He has a degree, a PhD in what? I don't know. Where did you get that from? Kindergarten, college? You know what I mean? What's
economic czar.
Right. Yeah. Economic czar. Really. Okay. Yeah. So Simhan, he noted that the Bank of Israel, the country's central bank, has studied whether to pursue the issuance of digital shekels, as you said, Israel's national fiat currency, and they decided against it. They decided against it, conceding he was, quote, not sure this was a good decision, end quote, and claimed a good argument for the central bank's rejection was chiefly that no other country has yet done so. So I'm not only talking about a guy who is just throwing out lies and blanket statements. I mean, you're just talking about a follower.
Yeah.
I mean, you follow what everyone else do. You're telling me you haven't decided, your country hasn't decided to do a central bank digital currency because nobody else has done it.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to listen to you on cryptocurrency in general.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like you're on the sideline.
And he had to say CBDC, because that quote, he definitely says, I am still quite confident that money as we know it will change. Yet made it clear that the shift to digital currencies will not be due to a decentralized, anonymous peer-to-peer model of Bitcoin, but rather to a central bank digital currency, CBDC, which we've stated over and over. They are starting the marketing campaign to make people believe, yes, people, take your fiat currency, turn it digital. That's the way money's going to change. Not decentralized, not private, not a way to store value, just a way to transfer it. So, these statements are just market employees, and we can see through it. All our warriors, they're pretty seasoned now. So
right, what's going on, blockchain? Shuja, to see you again as well.
Yeah, we definitely have a bot in here. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. So I was looking at the bot. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's funny. I don't think people realize how much we really don't care about this.
Get out of here, super hard.
Right. And kind of going on the heels of that same story about, no other country has done it yet, so we're scared to do it ourselves. That's what they really should have said. We're followers in the world. Or at least, myself and our organizations are for this guy. We don't want to do a CBDC because no one else has told us we're allowed to do it yet, so we're going to wait.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, it looks like a new article actually came out right after it. It said, too early for central bank digital currency. India shelves plans for a crypto rupee. Now, that is one thing we had talked about India for a few months here and there, off and on for the past year. They've been talking about doing an India rupee as well, but without getting into all the gritty details, because this is a pretty in-depth article, they basically decided not to do it because no one else has did it yet either, and they don't know what they're doing. Basically, like when they kind of came out and said it's just like just doesn't make sense to do it right now. What they really are saying is that we have no clue what we're doing. We just spent the last 6 to 8 months using taxpayer dollars, as always, to pay for this research group of
just to tell us what we could have told
a lot of dinos who came back and was like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I could have told you that in one email.
Right.
Hey, we want to create a digital currency that is decentralized. Oh, really? That means you have to do everything different from what you're doing right now. So no, it's not going to happen. This isn't, surprising. India, these people have no cojones. They don't want to do anything without background research. But the reason I think they're doing it in Venezuela and certain places like that is because, like, hey, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, it's Venezuela. They're already 1,000,000% in inflation. So who cares if it fails?
And one of the big arguments for the central bank digital currency as well, that actually India and that dino that we had, which, you know what, by the way, before I forget, what was his name?
Oh, yeah.
Avi Simhan. You thought you got away from us today. Let's give him that loud roar.
Give him that loud roar.
He thought he got away from us. Oh, man. Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
2 times.
The very rare dose dinos.
Right? He's definitely getting that double dose. But one thing that Avi as well as India both kind of admitted to is that the biggest challenge they're actually having is making a CBDC that is centralized. Because digital currency, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and like was made to be decentralized. So that is the biggest issue they're having. They're trying to figure out how they can make a centralized central bank digital currency so that, you know, and others won't find out about anything else. And they're realizing like this is almost an impossible task, because if we introduce this CBDC to them, that is their normal populations, then the public will eventually look at other digital currencies and say, why are we using yours?
Yeah. And don't think it's something that will get over on people. The reason the CBDC has to slowly get eased into people's conscious is because I talk to people who don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I'll describe a stable coin or a CBDC to them, and they'll look at me and be like, well, don't we already use digital currency? So people know we use digital currency. It's just, you know, day-to-day bills, stuff you got to pay. Crypto hasn't become mainstream. So they have to ease this into there, or they're going to have to force you into it. They're basically going to have to say, your money's being converted into this CBDC. There's nothing you can do about it. So once you start seeing those headlines from different countries, I'm sure you'll start seeing it over the course of the year. People are going to get forced into it. So, but most people, they're smart enough to see what's going on.
Like we said, everybody hates Bitcoin today.
Everybody hates Bitcoin.
It's just like,
Nobody.
Like you said, it's the beginning of the year. I mean, it's just like we saw last year with the regulations and all the FUD.
Yeah.
It's literally, you know, everyone's not even back yet. I mean, literally, the United States government clearly isn't back yet, right?
TSA, I'm taking a nap.
And I guarantee you, if they come back after Martin Luther King Day weekend, like I told you happens anyway, that would be hilarious, because all that means is that they literally was like, let's just take an extra 3 weeks. Like, we don't do anything, because listen, the United States government does not do anything the first few weeks of January before Martin Luther King Day weekend. Just doesn't happen, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Except, you know, they're starting to prime it, though. They're getting the FUD pieces out, and then eventually, you know, we'll have our regulators come back strong once his government comes back.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. John Seaberg says CBDC is good. It's a gateway drug to Bitcoin. I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, people are not dumb. They're going to see CBDC. I was like, well, that's digital currency. Well, why don't I use crypto? And I've always said that's exactly how the banks will lose. They'll eat themselves. They'll try and be reactive instead of proactive. And then when people see the option that's already out there, been out 10, 11, 12 years, whatever it is at that time, people will make the right decision, I think.
All right, and for the actual top story, Ethereum Classic price barely moves despite 51% attack. The price, not as much as the story, even though we know everybody loves talking about price.
Yeah.
The 51% attack or hash rate takeover, whatever's going on with Ethereum right now is the news.
Oh, yeah.
And with that being said, what is going on with Ethereum, right? Ethereum Classic right now specifically, that's all in the news.
Oh, yeah. Well, it seems as though Ethereum Classic was hit with a 51% attack, which means that it was able to double spend on one of the logs. So that means that it's not secure. That means that the transactions and the ledger are not secure, which is not good.
Thought we fixed this, Ethereum Classic.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Coinbase actually reported to the Ethereum Classic devs that they're shutting it down because of a double spend, and they didn't even know. So Ethereum Classic devs are a community group. They're not really organized. So they had to be told by a third party in order to know that it was a double spin on the network.
Hey, but at least you know it's decentralized now.
Hey, man. Hey, it's really decentralized.
It's decentralized. Yeah. Everybody's like, something went wrong?
So something happened? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a CEO. I just helped build it.
Exactly. And then you just saw Cascade, Coinbase, and then other exchanges.
Right, there's a couple more exchanges that popped in as well.
Yeah, that's not a good look, especially when Ethereum Classic was, basically pushed by Barry Shilbert, and people kept asking, like, what's the use case? Who cares? I will say, though, that the ability to short Ethereum Classic was a feature that was just introduced. Cool. It was just introduced not too long ago, and then all of a sudden they have a 51% attack. So it is perfect timing for you to pull out a big short on the Ethereum Classic and then scoop it up at lower prices. But the price didn't move. Traders were kind of, unblemished, didn't really do anything. and no funds were lost, so to say, from Coinbase. But the attack was worth 1.1 million. So,
and if you're just now listening for the first time, or you don't listen often, or you think we do all the conspiracy theories, don't worry, because these next few stories are going to prove to you that we're not conspiracy theories. That it's going down out here in this world about crypto. But I say that because you're talking about the perfect timing. That's one of the things people be like, no, I mean, it's probably just coincidence. Like, no, at this point, a lot of stuff that's happening in this industry is not a coincidence. It is people actively doing things to maximize their income. Yeah, I mean, very simply.
Yeah. And the Ethereum Classic, I've seen the devs come out on Twitter. They said it wasn't a 51% attack. It was selfish mining, which is, like I've said before, very, very possible, and I believe them. But at the same time, the fact that you can take over the mining for Ethereum Classic is still not really that good for people. So, but hope is alive. It still has a long way to go.
And to be fair, so they claim they were testing like the new ASICs or something on Ethereum Classics for mining. So that's what, if you're looking at our YouTube right now, Jizzy Mac was like, can you explain the selfish mining?
Yeah.
I'm assuming, because I didn't get too in depth in it yet, but from what I saw, I'm just assuming that since they were trying to use the new ASICs, which we know have the exploits to most mining, that people was like, hey, let's go ahead and get it. It's just game time now.
Very simple.
They probably went crazy with it.
Yeah.
It could have actually been an accidental 51% attack, so I do get that. If like you said, they turned on
the switch. He was like, all right, let's see what we can do.
But also the fact that you could short it was a few weeks ago, you said recently?
Yeah, exactly.
The timing is beautiful.
Because think about it. If you have, if retail investors see 51% attack, there's like sell. Even if it's a panic for a few hours and it's not even real, it doesn't have to be. That 10% drop is probably just enough, for somebody to get it going. So
right. All right. We're actually going back to India with this next story. Fourth suspect arrested following alleged $70+ million crypto scam. You heard that right. Woo. There was another crypto scam of $70+ million. I think this is actually India's second or third one that goes as high as for 70 million, 100+ million. I know they have a big population, so I'm assuming that has a lot to do with it. I mean, how many people are in India? Probably.
Billion?
Yeah. We're like, it's definitely hundreds of millions, right? So you get 3% of those, you're good to go. But India police have arrested an associate of a group accused of conducting a crypto scam involving 5 billion rupees, about $71.6 million. The local media, the Indian Express, reported yesterday. Now, the reason why this story is important, it's two main reasons. First is kind of showing you what we always talk about, how the scams are sophisticated now. Like we tell you, like this isn't the same mom and pop just trying to hack you. This scam right here, it looks like this guy Amit Lekhempal, the man who launched the allegedly scam cryptocurrency, is a CEO of a real estate firm, but he said the token that he tried to launch basically was dubbed the money trade coin MTC. Again, we always talk about coin names, people. Granted, there's some goofy names out there, but which is in good fun for devs almost. Yeah. But when you're talking about the money trade coin,
come on, man.
Come on, right?
Come on, man.
But it looks like this case has been ongoing. It was reportedly occurred about a year ago almost now. But this guy, Rohit Kumar, another one, who also was arrested, I guess they worked together. They basically set up this new coin. They told people they're going to get it listed on the exchange. They had a business office and everything, as we always tell you they do. They actually rented a real business office. Yeah. They hired people to work for them. They had people come in. They had investors actually come in and give them the money because they're coming in. They're seeing a business building. They're seeing an actual office. Man. They give them the money. They started to pump the price of the coin, even though it wasn't even on the actual exchange. Of course, a lot of people don't know what the exchange is, how the coin works. Long story short, they got away with $70+ million now.
Yeah. And, the way that they do that is they use over-the-counter trades, which they could have done themselves, basically to push the price of it to say, okay, well, it's 1 cent to start. And then they could do some over-the-counter trades themselves and say, oh, it's 5 cents now. And then people are like, hold up, I have a lot of this money trade coin. Let me try and trade it. But it was never listed on a crypto exchange. So you basically were giving people coins that had no value at no point. And it's crazy to me that they basically went Stratton.
Right? They went
full Stratton Oakmont with the officers.
You never go full Stratton Oakmont.
Never go full Stratton Oakmont. Throwing midgets around. I mean, it was, it's one of those scams that are hilarious to me because they got 70 million out of people. And, when you get caught, the people who get caught sometimes I want to see like them going into court to see if they have remorse. Just to see, what type of person they are. Because some of them will start laughing and smiling like, hey, what can you do?
Y'all got me.
Yeah, y'all got me. I'll do these little 2 years and I'll be out. But, he got 70 million from it. And this is a very, very sophisticated scam. So you got to watch out.
Yeah, so we have that highlight here. Cited by the Indian Express, they declared, quote, that the accused has set up an office in Delhi's Vikram Nagar and used it to collect money from investors promising high returns. People were telling you, they are setting up offices.
Oh, yeah.
They have people who can speak English when you call them for support staff. It seems legit. It's a scam. I mean, it's just a scam.
And you know what it sounds similar to? It sounds similar to DIG.
Yeah.
People say they're walking into offices, seeing stuff. May not be what you say you are.
And another thing, last but not least about this story, it looks like these events were conducted in Dubai, or some of the events were conducted in Dubai, and it looks like that some of the people attended were part of the royal family, which I guess kind of help investors come on board. That's important to call out because it's unfortunate, but everyone don't know the government dynamics in different countries and stuff when you're doing business. But when they have stories like this, when they said that were attended by members of the royal family in Dubai and some of the other places in the Middle East, the royal family is the government.
Yeah.
So that's just like being in the United States being like, oh, a member from the government came to see it.
Yeah,
it's like
the senator supports me.
Right, exactly. So it's not as, I mean, it's big, but it's also not as big as it may seem. But again, that's why you gotta do your due diligence, people. If somebody's saying we got the royal family here in Dubai, it's the money trade coin. It doesn't seem legit, but apparently it was legit enough to get $70+ million. So,
oof, man, everybody hates Bitcoin today.
Right? I know, right? That's just the thing. Everybody hates Bitcoin. Here's another pretty interesting one that got it took an unfortunate turn. We don't know what happened, so we won't say is too bad. But Australian federal court imposes travel ban and fund freeze on BitConnect promoter. That is right. I even know they were hunting them down in different countries. Yeah. They are hunting them down like SS troopers right now, okay?
Yeah. Let's get them out of here.
They are finding all these BitConnect folks, but the Federal Court of Australia has imposed a travel ban and frozen the funds of John Bigatin, a promoter of reported 2.6 billion Ponzi scheme BitConnect. Daily newspaper The Sydney Morning Herald reported a couple of days ago. Looks like Big Gatton is reportedly listed as a director and shareholder of BitConnect International PLC and the only representative of BitConnect Australia.
Oh yeah.
But here's where the story gets a little crazy. Not that just he got arrested, but it looks like his wife, right? What happened with her?
Oh yeah, it looks like Madeline Bigaton, who is the sole director and shareholder of this investment management company. It says that her assets have been frozen, but she has been missing since March. And when she went missing, and they didn't find her, I wonder if everybody just dispersed from BitConnect. They all went their separate ways. This is $1 billion Ponzi scheme, so it's sort of in the Bernie Madoff way. You might as well take off if you have some money to go. And it looks like because they can't find her and they found this guy John Brigatin, this is a lot deeper than we thought it is.
Right.
People are showing up missing.
Your wife
now.
missing?
Yeah. People are showing up missing now. It's been sort of quiet as far as the proceedings go, as far as people getting arrested. However, it's so much money at stake. I'm sure people were like, well, they might tell on me, or they might say something in court. So hey, it's getting deep now. That's all I got to say about the BitConnect stuff.
Right. When your wife go missing and nobody can find her, is an issue. But it looked like Australia not playing. I didn't realize, again, overseas they were really actively trying to arrest people about this. So I'm assuming he must have made a lot of money there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, this is actually a huge story, people. We'll tell you why. Crypto exchange Kraken says U.S. subpoenas becoming barrier to entry. Oh, my goodness. I mean, that says San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has said that the cost of handling government subpoenas is fast becoming a barrier to entry in the United States. This is one of the things we kind of talked about before where literally the regulatory environment is becoming so strict just to weed out the competition. Yeah. Just so the Gemini and Coinbase, all right, you two made it through the door. All right, we're going to do business with you. Yeah. No one else comes. But it looks like Kraken so far this year has received 2018 received a total of 475 subpoenas compared to 160 in 2017, with 315 of those coming from the United States last year. Wow. The UK came in second with 61 requests. I wonder why the UK would be second right next to the United States because they all use the same spy services, right? Oh, yeah. And Germany third with 34. Germany said, US, can we get back in your good graces by helping you? But the worst part about it is it looks like Kraken actually only has, the US is only about 1/5 of their clients, but it comes in at 2/3 of the subpoena requests.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That's a little OD, regulators.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But to kind of highlight what this reminded me of when I saw it, besides it being criminal, because why would a U.S. government agency or agencies, because multiple agencies, continuously subpoena just the one of the few exchanges that decide not to play ball with them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I brought an expert in today. Well, at least not us to bring them in, but we're going to go back to this old video, this old interview of Sammy the Bull Gravano. That is right. The mafia hitman. What else was he? I don't know. He's like a captain or something. He worked for Teflon Don himself back in the day. But you remember he had this interview. It was about an hour and a half long on CBS where he talked about all the stuff the mafia was doing in New York, about all the killings and all that nasty stuff. But one of the part of the things he's talking about is how they control different industries. And I'll just let him talk about it here. But I mean, this is just the perfect explanation of what the United States is doing as far as giving these subpoenas to Kraken is to make them basically die out.
Yeah.
You're talking a lot of money. You're talking a lot of industry. I mean, they take over an industry, they put their people in business, and free enterprise goes out the window.
The families were able to shut down job sites, to control the price of concrete, to control who picked up waste, to control who got deliveries or who didn't get deliveries.
If we wanted to stop a project, we could just go right to the Teamster form and just say, run this by the book. Every truck that comes in, check his tires, which is all union rules. Check if he's in good standing with the union, if he's up to date with his dues. That truck could sit there for an hour. But by the end of the day, there'll be 40 trucks, 50 trucks online to get in. They can't get in. So we'll slow that project down. We'll destroy it.
He says sometimes.
So if you didn't hear, and that's to me what the United States is doing right now. He basically said if a different trucking company wasn't working with the mafia, they would literally just go to the union, which is of course regulated, whether it's the self-regulations or actual government regulations that they clearly work with. And he said they'll just make sure they check off all those little rules on the list that they just invented out the blue every day, all day, to the point where they couldn't even do business because they would back the trucks up and the day would be over and you have to start over tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
That is literally what the United States is doing to Kraken.
Yeah.
The United States is
trying to squeeze them.
They're just sending them 315 subpoenas in 1 year.
Yeah. How can you operate?
You cannot operate and do these subpoenas, or if you don't respond to subpoenas, be in fear of actually getting arrested or being criminalized because you aren't responding to the United States government. But at the same time, they are literally doing that to make them die off slowly. So you talk about free enterprise, competition in markets and stuff. To me, this is criminal. The government's literally working with a few of the big guys out there to keep everyone else out. And it's interesting. Kraken, while we rag on Kraken all the time, because the interface totally sucks.
Interface is trash.
But to be fair, they were some of the first people doing margin trading.
But shout out to Jesse Powell.
And regardless of we like them or not, the fact that they can't even have an opportunity to really enter the market and they're that big, imagine everybody else behind them that hasn't even got the leeway or got the head start that they got. I mean, there's no chance for them to enter the market. How many subpoenas do you think they're getting? So definitely want to highlight this story. Because, this is what we're dealing with right now. Everyone hates Bitcoin.
Oh, man, yeah. Everybody's trying to take their chunk out of Bitcoin. And they usually start with the exchanges because that's usually that's the meeting point between users and regulators is the exchanges. So
right. They
got to start with the exchanges, and it looks like Kraken is on the hit list.
John Siebert, that is definitely the funniest comment today. He said the FBI is lawn mowing nearby.
I know,
Listen,
right?
they heard us starting to talk about them. Oh my goodness, that's pretty funny.
Let's drown that out.
Right, real quick. We'll try to fix it later.
Yeah.
All right, other than that, that is the show today. Everybody hates Bitcoin. For the free cryptic coin, what are we doing today?
Oh, yeah. All right, so for the free cryptic coin today, the Ethereum Classic 51% attack happened, and now, they're saying that it was a selfish mining attack. Do you think Ethereum Classic will last? Do you think it will pass Ethereum at some point? Or do you think it will die off because of, people being uncertain? Give us your cryptic coin address, and we'll send those free coins to you.
As always, thank you for watching. Have a happy Tuesday, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Cheers. Man. Make sure you click that bell and smash that like and share, people.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.